So today yet again was the weekly Warriors Den live stream, and while it wasn't jam-packed with exciting new information, we did get a piece of the State of Balance blog post that will be released in full this upcoming Tuesday. And what we got was another win-loss matrix for the heroes, just like we got last season, but this is the one I was looking forward to since I wanted to know how the new Conk, Kensei, Berserker, Highlander, and Nobushi would play out, and that's basically what I want to talk about today. Now, we all know the goal of the major reworks, to turn less viable heroes into consistently viable heroes across all game modes, and tune Nobushi down in 4s while trying to make her more fun to play in duels. So I'll put the Season 5 win-loss chart up first, then in a little bit I'll put up the Season 4 one next to it. Basically off the bat we see that the big 3 reworks all have win rates over 50%. Now these stats come straight from Ubisoft, where they took the win rates from the top 2.5% of players, so most of the players they take data from, I assume, will have a pretty good grasp on the game. And don't quote me on this, but I'm assuming that this takes into account players from all platforms. I'm not going to talk about everyone on here, so I'll just talk about the ones that I find interesting. Now, that 60% win rate from Conk really surprises me. I knew he was really good, but according to the chart, he wins all but 2 of his matchups. This is probably because of his insane shield bash mix-up, and I'm sure that any of you watching this have been on the opposing end of his shield. It's really tough to react to, and it's one of those moves you need to predict, and even with that, it's pretty safe. And I think I said this when I was talking about Conqueror, but his shield bash just sort of overshadows the rest of his kit because it's just that good. On top of that, he's got a fantastic full block and fast lights with a really good zone, and honestly I don't even recognize him as a heavy anymore. Of course, I think his win rate has probably dropped by now that we're in Season 6 and have gotten used to fighting him, and that's the same with the other reworked heroes. I think that we've gotten used to fighting them by now. Next up on the list is of course Peacekeeper. She was really good in Season 5 and I've talked about her quite a bit recently, so we'll skip over her and move right into 3rd place with Kensei. He's got a fast zone, great dodge attack, decent damage, and plenty of feints. I thought Kensei would be 4th or 5th on the list because while I do think he had the best rework, I didn't think he was the best hero. And I know that quite a few people have had a tough time fighting him when he first got his rework, but personally, I thought he wasn't as good as Conqueror or Berserker, which brings us to number 4, Berserker. I thought he would beat Conk on this list. I thought that it would be Berserker at the top and then Conk right behind him, but he's at 4th place with a 54% win rate. His hyper armor, easy to access, unblockable, and speed really mess with players because of how much Berserker could attack, and with his feints, it still makes it tough to react to everything he does. Now after Berserker is when things start to not make so much sense to me. So it's really shocking to see Aramusha and Shigoki so high up on the list in terms of win rate. Again, I've made my opinions on both of these heroes already in previous videos, but I expected both of them to be really low on the list, especially considering this only includes duel results. And although I think Shigoki isn't a great hero, I can understand how he makes it this high up on the list, you know, with trading and hyper armor, but Aramusha only has light attacks. Nobushi also dropped on the list, and this could be because of her changes. And the last person I want to talk about is Gladiator. I think Gladiator is a really good hero, and honestly, I can't tell you why he's all the way down there. What this shows is that tier lists and all that stuff don't really matter to the majority of us. As I said before, tier lists only really matter at the top of competitive play, and honestly, you should use whoever you feel like, or whoever you like the most, or whoever feels the best to play personally. And before we wrap this up, if you haven't seen it already, Ubi dropped the past, present, and future trailer the other day, and while it was a good trailer, the ending is what really sticks out. We see our heroes in some Middle Eastern type of area, and it cuts to Warden having some mystery blade shoved into his face. I'm not even close to a history expert or anything, so I couldn't tell you what that Prince of Persia sword actually is, but if you know what it is, please tell me down in the comments. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. Of course, I want to hear from you guys, so talk to me down in the comments. How do you feel about the win-loss matrix? And as always, if you like the video, feel free to leave a like and sub if you're new, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.